Hi guys. I don't think my thing has gone out yet. Hi, welcome in. Hello to all the new people. I'm sorry this is how you have to hear of me. So I wanted to do some talking because I understand there's a lot of things that people are very confused about. First time in months I've caught a ghosty stream. Welcome in. I'm sorry, this is gonna be a little bit more serious. It's only gonna be serious for this first part of the stream. I do not want to, make this the whole focus of the stream, but this is very important. And there is music playing, by the way. I believe it's Ramadan. Don't quote me on that. If someone in chat can quote me on, wait, what's the word? I believe Ramadan's going on, and I know they cannot listen to music with instrumental, I believe. There is music actively playing on the stream. If you can't watch it, my VOD mutes the music, so you can watch it afterwards. There will be no music. My music never gets saved in my VODs. So if you do celebrate Ramadan, yeah, it is. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so if you guys do celebrate Ramadan and you can't listen to music, you can watch it after the stream. I just wanted to come in and say hello. For the people who are a little bit more newer, I am Katie's best friend. I am the person that was with her during VidCon. I've just noticed that there have been... I didn't also post on Twitter that I was going live just because there have been a lot of trolls on there, so I don't really want to bring them in because I would rather just, keep it small, just explain things and help people understand a little bit better. I don't want to fully explain the entire situation because in the end of the day, this is always going to be Katie's story, and it is always going to be her story to tell. I am just here to help move along her story and help people understand exactly what happened. I am her witness, essentially, I am her witness. That is it in the end of the day. And I am always going to be here to support Katie. She's my best friend. She has been there for me through absolutely everything that I have been through in my life. Her mom was the one who paid for my trip to VidCon, because she didn't want Katie to go alone. And sorry, I fully was not planning on crying during this stream. But I just want everyone to understand that I feel horrible. Katie is my best friend. I see her like a little sister. And to tell me that it's my fault that this happened to Katie is so unbelievably hurtful. Sorry, guys. Oh my God. I honestly did not want to cry during this stream. This was just my intention to get things out there and help people completely understand everything that went on. I'm so sorry. I did not, like I said, I did not mean for this to happen to Katie. I didn't know that this would happen. Oh, sorry, I have alerts on. Let me just pause the alerts. Sorry, okay. I just want you guys to understand, I love Katie absolutely so much. She's my best friend. I have tried to be here for her through absolutely everything. And I just want to explain some things. One of the biggest things I've been seeing people say is that I got Katie into a 21 and up party, and I got her in, and that I was feeding her drink. There were some things that people were saying that I was the reason Katie was getting drunk and that Katie was getting into these 21 and up parties. If you guys read Katie's statement, which I recommend everyone here do if you guys have not read her statement, she goes into everything in very well detail, and she explains things very, very well. And like I said in the beginning of the stream, this is Katie's story. I'm just here to help move it along. And that was never the case. It was never 21 and up parties. I was 20 at the time. If they were 21 and up, I couldn't get in either. I don't own a fake ID. I've never owned a fake ID. If we were to try to get into these parties, like, first of all, I also want to say the only wristband I had on was the Hyatt wristband that gets me into these parties. That was the only wristband I ever had on. I was technically Katie's +1, but because Katie was an invited creator and not a featured creator, a lot of these parties we wouldn't have even been able to get into. And I didn't even have like a badge, like a pass, like a badge that would let me get into a lot of these things. So literally the only party that we got into was the Instagram party. And even then, I didn't get into the Instagram party. I myself, that was the only VidCon specified party that we ended up going to. And that was obviously the night that everything happened. I never even got in. The only person who had a 21 wristband was one of our friends who have known Dream and George for a while now, so they would know that they were 21 anyways. I didn't get in. So essentially how that day started. We started at VidCon. We met up with some of our friends' friends who were talking about the Instagram party that night and that they had a connect to get us into the party. Once again, I want to put out there, the party was 16 plus. If you look at Katie's statement, it specifically says that it is a 16 up party. And if you're 16 and older, you need to be there with an adult. But if you're 18 and older, you can be there without an adult. And then if you were 21 and up, you got a yellow wristband that says that you were 21. And the only person, I did say earlier that I thought 2 of our friends were 21 at the time. That is because one of my friends that were there, she turned 21 after Katie already left. It was like she turned literally 21, like, I don't remember exactly which day, but she turned 21, but she wasn't 21 at this time. And so we found out that they had connects against this party. We were like, okay, fun, that'd be awesome if we could all get in. So they wrote our names down and stuff. Something had happened, a little miscommunication. They didn't think that there were as many people as there were going. So 2 of us didn't get in. I was one of the 2 people who didn't get in. Outside the venue, there was a staircase, and me and our other friend sat out there while everyone else went in because I knew, that's a fun experience. There are text messages of us in that group chat that ended up, obviously a lot of the things got used in that group chat as proof. There was pictures in that group chat of me and our friends sitting on the staircase talking about how they didn't let us in and us making jokes that they hated us for not letting us in. But we waited outside. I never got a wristband. I never got inside the venue. The only way I saw inside the venue was by seeing the pictures and videos that Katie showed me after they went in. They came out 15 minutes later. Me and our other friend told them, dude, stay inside. If you guys are having fun, that's totally okay. Me and our other friend can just go somewhere else. We had friends who had an Airbnb that we had been the night before that we were like, we'll just go over there. It's totally okay. Don't even worry about it if you guys don't want to leave. Like, I understand if you're having fun. It's a fun experience. It's a VidCon party. This is the first time Kitty was invited to VidCon. Getting to be in an event like that would have been so cool. And I would not have wanted to take that away from her. But they, being the nice friends that they were, decided, no, we're going to leave. They went in, got some pictures, some videos. I know they made a joke texting. There was like these little mini corn dogs that were in there that were being passed around. Like those people who like hold the plates and they have like the food on it. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. They were like eating them. They're like, guys, hold on. We'll be out in a second. They got corn dogs. They're really good. Like jokes like that, But then they ended up coming out and we made a game plan. Let's go back to the hotel. It's totally fine. We went back to the hotel and that's where we came from. It was a 16-out party. No one drank. People claimed that we came to the hotel having already drank. We didn't. We went back to the hotel, didn't drink, went to their hotel room, and that's when we started to drink. So to say that we were already drinking beforehand didn't happen. I just wanted to get that out there. We weren't already drunk when we got there. It wasn't a 21 and up party. It was a 16 and up party. There were creators there that were younger than Katie and I. From what I saw, like, it was never us getting Katie into these 21 and up events. The only time that we went to a party where we drank, honestly, was at an Airbnb party hosted by some friends of ours. That's actually where we met Dream for the first time, and that is when we went back to his hotel room that first night, because we rode back in his car. I very much remember that night because I didn't get that drunk as I did the next night. And it was hosted at that Airbnb, and everyone there was people that I know, people that I've gone on trips with, people that were very trustworthy, people that were there and continuously stayed sober and made sure everyone was okay. It was a very safe environment, and there are people that Katie and I have known for a very long time. So it was a very safe environment for us to be getting, for us to be drinking in. We were playing drinking games. It was very fun. Katie and I had fun, and we went back to their hotel that night, and everything was fine. Nothing happened out of the ordinary. I had actually left earlier that night from the hotel room because our hotel room was literally, like, their hotel room was here. You walk down the hall, you go past the elevators, and then I think it was straight past the elevators, and it was right there. Like, our hotel room was right there. And I had left early that night anyways. Our friend, we've talked about it. One of our friends was romantically talking to Dream at the time. That was a very known fact. And she actually had stayed the night in his hotel room twice. That first night after the Airbnb party, she was there that whole entire night. I had left early. I was really tired. I don't have, honestly, the biggest, like, social, like, battery. Especially when I've been drinking. I went back to the hotel room early. Katie and our friend had stayed later, and eventually, when Katie was ready to go back, our friend had walked Katie back to our hotel room and went back to Dream's hotel room to spend the night. And then, the next night, I, gotten way too drunk. This was after the Instagram party. So, I'd gotten way too drunk, obviously, and that was a mistake of mine. I explained to someone in their DMs, I was still very new to drinking. Obviously now I've done it a couple more times. I understand my limits. At the time, I honestly didn't. The only times I've ever drank with Katie have been like chill environments, safe places. I haven't really, I don't know. I was still very new to that whole partying scene, going out and seeing people. So that night, I was sitting on the couch with them, got a little too drunk, obviously, and I did not intentionally want to leave. I was going to stay way longer, but I was sitting there on the couch, and I just remember feeling extremely sick and extremely nauseous. I stood up, I didn't even look at anyone, I said, I'm going to go, guys, and I ran out of the hotel room. I probably walked out of their hotel room and then ran down the hallway. And the thing that I only remember was getting to our hotel room, pulling out the key, because I have this satchel. I think I still have it. I wore it a lot. You might see it I don't have it next to me, but I have a Lululemon crossbody bag. And I remember our hotel key was in there. I remember pulling it out, trying to get it to unlock the door, and actively was throwing up in my hand. It was just horrible. And then I just remember getting on the bathroom floor, throwing up for a good 30 minutes, and then I woke up. And then I woke up, and it was the next day. And it was interesting because I remember throwing up in my hand. I then was looking at my hands. I was like, when did I wash my hands? Because obviously I did, because my hands were completely clean. And I didn't tell anyone this. I ended up telling one of my friends this the other day. I remember in my mind going, did I throw up in my hand? Was that a dream? Was that not something that happened? And I remember walking out of our hotel room the next morning with Katie and looking at the floor and seeing, this is a really TMI. I'm so sorry for everyone. There was... I could tell I threw up just a tiny bit. It was just a little bit. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough for me to remember, yeah, I definitely did throw up in my hand. So yeah, to also tell everyone, I did not leave Katie there. A lot of people are claiming that I abandoned Katie in that hotel room. I didn't leave her alone in there. One of our friends were there and were still awake. She was still there at the time. I left knowing full well Katie was still there with someone. I assumed that the next morning, I assumed that night Katie would have been like walked home or walked back to the our hotel room by the same person. Obviously, that hadn't had happened. Yeah, so that was essentially how everything. I hope that like helped a little bit. I know people had a lot of questions. That was just like the timeline that I remember. That's what I remember. I remember we drank in their hotel room that night. And I just remember getting up, getting really sick, and leaving, and knowing Katie was still there with one of our friends. And it's just like the idea that people said that I abandoned Katie. I didn't abandon Katie. I just really didn't want to throw up in their room. At the time, I was just like thinking how embarrassing that would be for me. They had been there the night before all night. I thought, these are people that we had already had conversations with during the day. That was the third time I had spoken to Dream during this event. I seriously thought these were people I could trust. I genuinely did. I genuinely did think that these were people I could trust. They were bigger creators. They were already friends with friends of mine. I shouldn't have to think that they were going to do something to Katie. Katie, like I said, is my best friend, and if I were to know that something was going to happen to her, I would have made her leave with me. I would have, I mean, you guys saw the text. When I remembered that night and I, the next day, woke up and I just really thought about it because Katie had already left for the airport by that time, which is why I had texted her. Tammy, if you can pin that also, so people have a reference to look back on, that'd be awesome. It's just like, me and Katie are just like, two peas in a pod. We never left each other. That was the only time that I really left her. I was with her the entire trip. I never left her side except those times when she was still with our other friend. And I regret it. I regret it. And I admitted to Katie. I texted her. I have told her multiple times now how I feel horrible and that I blame myself for leaving her in that situation, not realizing how uncomfortable she was. And that's completely on me. I'm really bad at picking up social cues. I was also incredibly drunk out of my mind. I was, and I do take responsibility for the fact that I could have gotten Katie out of that situation and I didn't. And I regret that. And I am going to, like I said in my post, going to continue to try to make it up to Katie, even though she tells me that she doesn't blame me and I shouldn't blame myself. I still feel like I need to make it up to her. And that's why I've been supporting through everything. I have been doing everything I can to make sure people understand that what Katie did she's a liar. Like, dude, I don't know. It's just, in the end of the day, he was a horrible person. He did something absolutely disgusting. And it's just like, in the end of the day, the blame is on him. Could I have done better? Yes. But he is still the one that did that without her consent. And to now backtrack and say that, oh, well, now there's proof is like absolutely insane. I also know that people said that our friend group hated Dream and them. I didn't. I didn't at the time. If I did, would I have gone into his hotel room? Would me and Katie have wanted to hang out with them? Absolutely not. Now have my opinions on them changed completely? Absolutely. They are honestly horrible people. And like, to say like we changed Katie's opinions on that night, no, we didn't. To say like, Katie came to those conclusions on her own. And if you look at her text messages that we had that next day when I texted her asking her if she was okay, you could tell she still hadn't fully processed that night. And I remember the next day we talked about it and we were like, whoa, dude, like, what was that? Like, that was crazy. Like, I don't know. It's insane. And I know, like, people have been like, well, Dream had texted people asking about Katie. No, not me. And me and Dream had been in contact for months after VidCon because I seriously saw him as a friend. I genuinely did. I invited him to hang out with us on multiple occasions. I talked to him at TwitchCon Vegas. You know, I very much thought he was a nice guy, and I personally thought completely different than all my other friends did. But that doesn't change the fact that he helped push a narrative that Katie was a liar and that it wasn't like how Katie said. And my opinions on him have completely changed. And he never once texted me asking about Katie and George. The only time that we had a conversation about anything that had to do with that night was obviously when the stuff with Harry happened. And he texted me asking if it seemed like anything had happened. And I, at the time, said no, because the conversation was not about George. The conversation was about him. And it was about the underage drinking. And it wasn't ever about whether or not Katie, you know, it was always just about him and not George, which is why I said, dude, no, nothing seemed wrong, because he wasn't doing anything wrong, and I can stand by that. I will stand by that comment, and I said that in one of my posts that, you know, like, it wasn't him. That was our conversation. It was never about George. It was about him and the Harry situation. And it was about, at the time had seemed that Dream was one who had taken advantage of Katie, and I said he didn't. And I didn't lie. I never once lied about that. I never once ever got messaged about Katie again from him. So he never messaged me. And also, I just want to say, please don't. I saw a lot of people sending hate to Harry after I posted that, which is absolutely insane considering Harry has been one of Katie's #1 supporters and helping her through this as well. Like, that was really heartbreaking to me. And also seeing people send hate to Amy. Amy has been absolutely amazing through this all. And Amy has continuously been so supportive of Katie and making sure that Katie was okay. And to say that Amy is doing it for clout and things like that is just completely insane to me, because I have never met someone so willing to be vocal about it and so willing to take backlash like Amy. It's just really heartbreaking. And also the same with Max and them. Those people are absolutely amazing, and they have nothing but care for Katie at the end of the day. And to say that they're just doing it for clout, or they're just doing it just to virtue signal, is just, like, insane. I don't know. They've just been so amazing to Katie, and have been so incredibly nice to me as well. And then, yeah, to see Amy get fake allegations to them, yeah, that's absolutely horrible. And that's basically it. I hope I helped clear things up. I don't have anything in front of me to help, continue it. If I had something confusing to say, is it all right for me to upload clips of this stream to TikTok to spread the word? Absolutely no pressure. No, that's completely fine. I would just have people come and watch my stream also if they have any questions. I know there were more questions. I've been trying to answer things, but I'm just doing it in little sections. I want to make sure Katie's okay. I don't want to, fully take over her story, because it is her story. And I just love Katie, and this is horrible. And there have been so many people behind the scenes that have been absolutely wonderful. And the fact now that they, and by they, I mean Dream Team, is now suddenly switching up and saying, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, this is, like, horrible. Are you really sorry? Or are you doing this to save your ass? Because let's be real here. Let's be real. Yeah. But that's basically it. I don't know if I answered everything. I know when Katie gets home, because Katie is currently traveling for just, like, you know, personal stuff. She's with her family. She's probably going to answer a lot more. I just know there's a lot of people that had questions about my, like, vision of things and where I was and why I didn't do anything. I just hope I helped a little bit in helping people understand and know that, like, I didn't want that to happen to Katie. It wasn't ever something that I expected to happen to her. I shouldn't have had to expect that to happen to her. It wasn't like I left her in a room alone with weird men. It was people that we had already had conversations with, people that we had already been hanging out with the night before. I was right down the hallway. I thought it'd be okay. It's just, in the end of the day, I regret it. And like I said earlier, I will do everything I can to make it up to Katie. But moral of the story, they don't care about victims. They don't. I just hope, I hope I helped with people in misinterpreting the situation. I know, like, some misinformation was going around. I just want to reiterate, because something that I feel like people are not understanding, we were never at a 21 and up party. We were never at a 21 and up party. Katie never had a 21 and up wristband. If you watch Katie's vlog, they cut the wristbands off afterwards. And it just makes absolutely zero sense. I'm sorry. It was never, Katie never once made something seem like she was 21. But the damage control is ridiculous. They realized that nobody was accepting George's awful stream and immediately had both Sapped Up and George tweet at the same time, and then Jim crying in his Twitter space. That was very interesting to me, that they all posted at the exact same time. I don't know if you guys saw Hannah's private tweet. It just lines up. I just hope people will continue to support Katie through everything. But yeah. I don't know, at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I woke up. I'm so confused. Where was Sapped Up this? So, he was never there. I never met him. Not a single time. I would see him around VidCon. He was never in the hotel room. And that's something that I can admit. I never met him. I never saw him. He was never in the hotel room. During the entire trip. At least with us there. He could have been in the hotel room at any other point. But he was never there with me, Katie, and our other friends. I had only met Sapnap more recently and VCs. I've never personally had a conversation with him. Yeah, this space was just like, it was crazy to me. Has Sapnap made a statement about the whole situation? I believe so. I honestly hadn't read his statement. I could honestly care less what he has to say. I could care less. In the end of the day, from what I saw, is he's continuing to support George, and that says enough. What are the best ways to support Katie at this time? Sending love and support to you both. Honestly, it's hard to say. Katie has a very strong support system behind the scenes. Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry. I had an ad break. I forgot to turn ads off. So ads are snooze for 5 minutes. I don't know. Continue to support Katie's stuff, I guess. I couldn't even tell you. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea. Sorry. I'm trying to read everything. I hate that you said that they hated them, so it changed Katie's mind. were watching your older streams, you would publicly respect them and how you say they're cool, to say you hated them, as I didn't. I didn't hate them ever, obviously, until now. I don't know. I never hated them. I was always on really good terms with them. And to say that I did hate them is crazy. I was on good terms with them. I invited Dream to hang out on multiple occasions. Because I thought they were nice. So to say that is insane. Yeah. I'm glad she's spending time with her family. Oh, dude, me too. I'm glad that she's with her family, and I'm glad she's in Europe right now. Because I know she loves it there a lot. But yeah. Yes. Plus the stuff Dream said about nonverbal consent. Yeah. I have never been vocal about this. I personally am, trigger warning for people, I personally am a victim of sexual assault. I've honestly never really talked about this with anyone other than my ex and our mutual friend. But it was by someone that was very trustful, never once asked for consent. And there's someone that I still see to my day-to-day life. And the amount of trauma that I have from that stuff is absolutely insane. And to say that Katie is faking it and not understanding that it does take time to process is just absolutely insane. Nonverbal consent is not a thing unless it's talked about specifically. When me and my ex would when me and my ex would drink together and maybe things would escalate, we would always have conversations before we even drank. Or, it's always like, it's a matter of a conversation that you have with a partner, someone that you've been with for a very long time. And it's not something that you just automatically assume was someone you met for the first time the day before. Like, sorry. I don't know. It's just insane to say that. It's honestly heartbreaking. And to know that they have such a young and impressionable audience that would pick up on that. And then later in life, if something were to hypothetically happen to them and they remember that, they'll think that they can't say that they, it's horrible. I hope you're healing. I am. It's taking a lot of time. I still deal with it. But I have so many friends and people that are very trustworthy and help me learn to regain trust. Men are very scary to me now. I will always be nervous of someone's touch. And it's something that will probably never change. And I feel like people don't understand the amount of trauma someone gets from those situations. But yeah, nonverbal consent is not a real thing. Exactly. Like, what are you going to say to 12-year-old me? Oh, sorry. You didn't vocally say that you didn't want it to happen to you, so it didn't happen to you. Sorry. It's horrible. The way George said you were not uncomfortable, you were laughing. Dude, she was laughing because she was in a room with her friends. Like, and to say that she, wasn't comfortable, even though there were texts from the next day of her being like, I don't know, it was weird. I just don't know how to feel about it right now. Like, dude, I'm just using my ads again. You're being so respectful. You're making sure that Katie's story is seen and heard. That alone shows that you're such a good friend. It's not you and Katie's fault, and I hope you both are taking care of yourselves. I'm doing absolutely everything I can to make sure Katie's story is heard. And for people to understand that the reason, something that I saw and something that was very confusing to me is people being like, why didn't you deal with this in private? How was she supposed to deal with this in private? Was she supposed to message George and be like, hey, you did something absolutely horrible to me. Like, what is she supposed to say to him? And what is he just, what, so he can just turn around and be like, I didn't do that to you. It's just very confusing. And also the fact that if Katie were to handle this in private, the sad reality was it could have happened again to someone. The fact that she came out about her story is stopping him from being able to from doing it to someone else. So yeah, the people hopping on the why does everyone come forward when one person does don't realize that it really is every woman, every single woman I know has a story about sexual assault, and it sucks people are so on board with victim blaming. Yeah. It's the sad reality is it happens to so many women and also men. I definitely don't want to diminish the fact that anyone, I don't want to diminish the fact that it does happen to men as well. But it is the sad reality that women are scared. And you see time and time again when victims come out about their stories, how the public treats them. And you get scared. You get scared that that's going to happen to you. And then when you see other women do it, you get the courage to speak out about it. And you get... It's just... I feel like people don't understand how courage, happens. It's just... Yeah. Reaching out to your assaulter can be traumatizing and terrifying also. 100%. Dude, I think I want to... You think... You think that, like, she would want to message him about that? Just for him to say no? Isn't laughing a fear response anyways? I know amount of girls who laugh off awkward and scary situations with men. Oh, yeah. Dude, the amount of times I've been in a conversation with someone and been like, yeah, yeah, like, I feel like people just need to understand. She didn't bring it to public. He would never had any punishment or consequences. This is something that's very, very true. I was looking for that message, is that if she didn't come out about this, he would have continued on with his life. And like I said, this could have happened to someone else. Could have happened to another female creator. I've had a lot of creators behind the scenes talk to Katie. I've seen people talk about their stories and how he has said very not nice things behind the scenes to people. So it's just like, he would have continued to do that. I've had a very extreme situation to Katie, and seeing people blame me for what happened breaks my heart because I could never blame my friends who were there that night. It's just like, it was very difficult because I did see that they were cuddling. I did think it was weird, and that is something that I very much can completely admit. And it's the fact that they were on her phone. I couldn't text her to say, hey, because he was literally holding her phone. So it's just like, and then like, I was also sandwiched in between multiple people. I didn't know what to do. I'm a very anxious person. I didn't want to, I was very scared. I was very scared myself. And the next day when I did ask Katie if she was okay, that was honestly that was the best that I felt like I was able to do in that situation. But people laugh out of awkwardness that she was drunk too, which also includes laughing. He cannot use laughing as an excuse, and he is his fans defending him are the reason people are scared to come out about their stories. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Shelby's bravery and strength brought out the strength in young girls and women too. I think that's beautiful, and that's stupid hopping on the bandwagon. It's very, very heartwarming to see how supportive and how many women are banding together and are feeling strong enough to tell their stories, because it's very difficult. I was never able to tell my story, and seeing this stuff happen has made it so much easier for me and has given me so much strength and has given so many other people strength. And I'm just honestly so proud of all these women coming out about their stories and knowing that they don't have to be scared anymore. Women have also been murdered before rejecting a man's advances. Like, it's scary. Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like it's so, yeah. It's crazy that so many people are being so unnecessarily mean to Katie. Like, they're so obligated to say anything to keep defending him. Dude, he doesn't know you. You don't know him. You've never met him before. You don't know how he is behind the scenes. How can you sit there and defend him and speculate when there is just so much evidence being placed in front of you? It's just honestly disgusting. I understand looking up to someone so much and just being absolutely devastated when it comes to the reality that he isn't who you thought he was. But, like, do you not feel guilty? Like, honestly? Like, do you not feel guilty? I'm just curious. Like, I just don't know. People's parasocial relationships with streamers especially are so insane. People need to understand how disgusting George and Dream is too. I don't know. I've heard so many personal stories about these people now after this has all come out. It's just like, is it like, it always makes me wonder, and I've talked about this with friends. Is it once you become a big streamer, why is it so many people in the space? Why is it so hard for me to feel safe in a space that I love to create content in? Like I don't understand. It's just like, what, do you get famous and suddenly have a thing for power over people? Like, it's so true. People need to realize us fans do not know the creator. That applies to everyone. Dude, everyone. Like, even me. I could have done some fucked up shit behind the scenes and you guys wouldn't even know. You know? Like, it's absolutely insane. We are real people that do very real things and make real choices. We aren't just things in front of we're not a video game in front of your screen, you know? Like, you don't know these people to say that you're like, oh, he would never do that. Are you smoking crack? How do you know? Have you ever had like a conversation with him? Have you ever been in the same room as him, like holding, you know, like, it's really interesting to me. And it's really angering. I heard that you robbed a bank, TBH. Crazy, no one knows that. Dude, I literally, like, fucking ran so many red lights. Like, come on now. The blind support people give are the reason that these horrible people are able to have so much power, and it's terrifying. Yeah. I think many people that seek fame and power are often bad people. I could see that. And it's just interesting, and I will always be confused. You guys are real people living real lives outside of content creation. The online persona people put on are what they want people to see. That's what people keep forgetting. Exactly. Like, let's be real. How I act on stream is probably like 10 times the more of a persona than how I am behind the scenes, you know? I can be the most mellow person behind the scenes, but on screen I'm like, what the fuck, guys? Also, I can't snooze my ad breaks anymore because I completely forgot to turn them off. So there is going to be an ad break, and I am so sorry for everyone. I completely forgot that I had ads on. So I'm very sorry for the ad break. But for the people who are going to get an ad, multiple ads, yes, apologies. So many people are saying George is innocent. Like, no, he isn't. He literally, dude, yeah, that's something that confuses me. I don't know if maybe just people are, like, absolutely insane. Like, no offense, he admitted it. He literally openly admitted to touching her under the shirt, and people are like, what if she's lying about who it was and she's actually protecting one of the other people in that room because it was actually them and not George? What do you mean? He openly admitted it. Oh my god. It's so insane. Ogagi wouldn't do that. He's so silly and he saved me. Yeah, literally. People made me so mad. He admitted it. He's just trying to convince us he's in the right. Thank you, guys. You understand. People take the word influencer so lightly and don't realize that they have this name for a reason. They are so easily influenced by people on the internet that they don't even know. You're right. Gaslighting 101. No, actually. Everyone jumping on his side just shows how strong his influence is and the power he has over his fans and other creators, such he has had over Katie that night is so scary. The furthest thing that happened was, so you did, yeah, right? Like in her stream, she didn't even say names, but he tweeted out allegations against him, self-report. Exactly. Yeah. He could say, I did it, and insane people would be like, oh, but, dude. People being like, ugh, it's just so insane. It's just so painful. Content creators are human, and people need to learn to have morals and know when to hold people accountable and to realize they're bad people instead of just trying to defend them and kick their ass when they're clearly in wrong. Like, it was just so clearly, like, a thing when, like, I don't know how to explain this. When people were like, I'm supporting Katie, and I am going to be waiting until George makes his statement, and then the moment they made their statement, they jumped ship. They jumped ship and went, oh, I knew he was innocent. So what I'm hearing is that you did not listen to a single thing that Katie said. You're claiming he's innocent. I don't know. His only proof is saying her body language is also giving him a go-ahead, but she never told you she was good, bro. Exactly. The moment he realized immediately that she was talking about him says everything I need to know about the situation. Yeah. I think another thing is that these people literally blew up over COVID, aka a shared traumatic event. Their communities, I feel like, are frozen in time. They're all looking to move on and get their comfort streamers back. Yeah. Which it's like, dude, I completely understand. I understand wanting to, you know, like, have someone to look up to, have something to comfort you, have something in your, like, I completely understand. You know, I have that with TV shows. I have that with movies. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Absolutely love Star Wars. And it's something that I will always go back on whenever I'm sad and I need something to cheer me up. I completely understand. But if it were to, like, come out that, like, you know, the things that I watch is filled with horrible people, I would understand. And I'd be like, you know what? As much as the show brings me comfort, as much as this person brings me comfort, I understand that they're a horrible person and that I probably should find something new to find comfort in. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Yeah. Can I just say, I'm so thankful for Katie coming forward with her story. I know other people have gone through that who were not brave enough to tell anyone. I think it's truly inspiring seeing her and others come forward. Yeah, I completely agree. For me, it's the fact that he said he is so cautious with consent and wanted to make sure she was comfortable. Yeah, he didn't ask for consent and didn't ask if she was comfortable. Like, yeah. How are you going to say that? Oh, I'm so, you know, for consent. I would never do anything bad. Come on now. Also, can I just say, it's very interesting. I said this on my alt account, where I've been mainly being very vocal about everything that's going on. The proof that he had, the screenshots, and he said that the thing that still blows me away is about the wristband. He said that there was a wristband being worn and that it showed that she was 21 up. That was from a group chat. That picture was sent in a group chat that had me, Katie, I'm trying to remember how many, 3 of our friends, and Dream. George was not in that group chat at all. So all of those screenshots from that group chat were given to George by Dream. And to say that George saw that she was wearing, Katie was wearing a 21 and up wristband, it's just a complete lie, because those wristbands were literally cut off of us, and the only time that anyone was seen wearing the wristband was in that picture in that group chat. Unless Dream did show George that night, which wasn't said, yeah, that's just a lie. I don't know. Silence is not consent. Exactly. That'll always be how it is. George saying that he was cautious with consent and then saying he wouldn't typically ask to touch their waist gives me whiplash. Like, I don't know. If some guy that I met a day before just randomly started touching my waist, I'd be like, what the fuck? Hello? Hello? What's going on here? It literally wasn't proof at all. Sorry. My thing is covering it. He was lying and he knows that, professional yapper. Also, him trying to prove he was in the right for a half an hour and then trying to push the blame onto her friends at the end just proves he isn't right. Dude, that's fucking insane, because also, what is the fact that her friends not, like, our friends not liking him have to do with the fact that he still touched her without her consent? I don't know. Didn't they play a game later in the party? She said she was 18. Yes. So that's very interesting. The game that we were playing was who is most likely to. I actually don't even know if I still have the game on my phone. I might have probably deleted it because I did games. Yeah, I don't think I have it anymore. I think I deleted it. First of all, Dream showed us that game. We were playing it that first night on his phone. I asked for the game because I thought it'd be fun and I wanted to be able to play it with my friends when I came home. And so we were begging him in the group chat to send it, and he kept saying no. And then finally Katie found the game on her app store and sent it into the group chat. But Dream was the one who initiated that game. Not us. That was very interesting, to me. Because, yeah, we did want to play a game. We thought it'd be fun. But he was the one who initiated that game. And we just wanted the game. That was what we were talking about in the group chat, was the fact that we just wanted that game on our phones. So, yeah, that was very interesting to me. It's clear that they're scrambling together to fight for anything to prove their innocence. There's a reason they're failing with all the evidence, because they're not innocent. Yeah. I saw your wristbands getting cut off in Katie's blog. Yeah, their wristbands all got cut off. So it's just like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm just curious. I'm very slow at touching. You still didn't ask for consent. Exactly. I'm 100% supportive of Katie when he said he was also been really touchy. Is that true? Or did he just not read her right? Honestly, I don't remember. I very much remember them more being... Okay, because I don't know exactly what happened the first night. I just know the second night we were there, it was very confusing. Because at one point I have pictures on my phone, so this is not like, I honestly have to get like confirmation with Katie. At one point we went to the ice machine for some reason. I physically don't remember why we went to the ice machine, but they were being very rough with us. At one point I was pulled to the ground. Just like, it was very obviously play fighting. It was very funny, but I did not initiate a single bit of play fighting. And I was pulled to the ground, and I was like, what the hell? But I went along with it because I thought it was funny. Personally, I do say that. I can admit that. I did thought it was funny, but I did not initiate play fighting. That is not my forte, personally. That's just how I feel. But I have no idea if Katie was touchy. I physically could not remember. I couldn't tell you. But, yeah. How are you 27, man, almost 30 years old, gonna blame a bunch of kids? Some of them weren't even there. I don't know. Why was he trying to gatekeep a mobile game? Bro, I couldn't tell you. All I wanted was a stupid fucking game on my phone because I wanted to play it with my friends, which I never ended up playing because it was a paywalled game. It was like, I wonder if I could find it. I bet you I could find it and show you guys that I had it downloaded, because I did download it and I did play it with my friends when they got home, but then I got pissed off because it was paywalled. Let me see if I can find it. Sapnap and Dream are just as accomplices and enablers. I hate them all. I have no idea about Sapnap. That is complete, like, the fact that he's still sticking by George, definitely 100%, but he was also not there that night, so I can't say anything about him, personally. He's saying anything to literally save his reputation, yeah. I don't know how he thought Katie was 21. Let's be honest, she looks and sounds so young. Yeah, I can agree with that. Him saying Katie wasn't actually comfortable and she was just regretting it and her friends are manipulating her. I know! Someone said, I can't believe she tried to destroy your life, that you defended yourself so well. Okay, let me look up. Never have I ever. I'm like trying to like see if I can find it. I wonder if I can. Let me see if I can get the name in the group chat. I don't remember. I honestly like I would have to like search for a while for my phone. The reason a lot of people think she's lying. She's lying is because they're CCs. If they had heard, why isn't it wanting me to scroll up about this IRL? But at least have George's viewers be on Katie's side. Exactly. I don't think it matters. Screenshot was absolutely crazy. Yeah, I was sent that, and I hadn't heard that had happened, but I was just like, what the hell? What do you mean? It doesn't matter. Also, Katie's age is literally in her IG display name where he could see directly where he was DMing her afterwards. Yeah, that was interesting. Also, it's the fact that Katie, just weeks before VidCon, had posted her graduation photos from high school and also her prom photos from high school. And I think those were her most recent posts, if I can remember correctly. And you're telling me he didn't once go look through her Instagram posts? Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm nosy. I would. That's just me personally, though. Like, obviously, I can't speak for him, but I would 100% had gone through her Instagram posts after she had left. He isn't even debunking lies. He's just trying to manipulate his audience and thinking he's right. I don't know. It's confusing. Just her bio is literally her name. Yeah. He definitely went through it. I have no idea. It's just interesting to me. But yeah. Anyways, that is basically it, that I have to say, that I can physically remember people talking about and being confused about. I hope I helped clear it up at least a little bit. Obviously, I can't fully explain absolutely everything, because it is Katie's story, and I would like her to obviously explain everything more than I did. I just felt like I should just come in and just like clear just a little bit of things up, just in case people were just a little confused. But yes, that is it. Thank you for talking about this and answering questions. We love you and Katie so much. Thank you guys.